the key realization here is that you hold the keys to the kingdom, right? You have developed some sort of audience whom you influence, right? You make a product recommendation or a service recommendation and they trust you, they listen to you. And so they go on to buy the thing or sign up for the product or something based on your recommendation.
Welcome back to the List Building Lifestyle. I'm your host, Igor Kheifets. And today I'm hosting Justin Moore. Justin is the Creator Wizard, and he's a sponsorship coach and a co-founder of the Creator Wizard, a school and a community that teaches you how to find and negotiate your dream brand deals so that you stop leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Along with his wife, April, he has been a full-time creator for over 8 years. It all started when his wife started a YouTube channel for fun. When she gained traction and was getting brand deals, she asked him to take care of the business side of things and figure out the contracts and so on. Later, they started a family YouTube channel and were vlogging daily for years. He personally made over $4 million working with brands. He landed over 500 brand deals. He also ran an influencer marketing agency for over 7 years that helped other creators earn an additional $3 million. Justin's mission is to enable creators big and small to land 1 million paid brand partnerships by 2032. Talk about a very specific, big, hairy, audacious goal. So, Justin, welcome to the List Building Lifestyle.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah, so, your specialty is brand deals. Can you walk us through how that works?
Sure. So, for those of you who are listening who have either never done a brand deal or a sponsorship, I think let's talk about words first, like vocabulary, which is like brand deal. Like that doesn't sound like something someone with a newsletter would do. That sounds like something a YouTuber would do or an Instagram influencer or something like that. But for sake of conversation, we kind of think of them interchangeably, whether it's a brand deal or sponsorships. It's basically a brand wants to compensate you to get you to talk about them on whatever platform you're on. It doesn't have to be a newsletter, it could be anything. And the key realization here is that you hold the keys to the kingdom, right? You have developed some sort of audience whom you influence, right? You make a product recommendation or a service recommendation and they trust you, they listen to you. And so they go on to buy the thing or sign up for the product or something based on your recommendation. And so a brand deal or a sponsorship is just that. So, oftentimes, and there's other ways in which you can be sponsored and do work for brands that don't involve talking about them to your audience. And we'll get into that. But in its purest form, it's like a brand is compensating you for you to essentially serve as the conduit for them to access a pool of prospective customers.
Well, yeah, on this show, we're familiar with the concept of affiliate marketing. We do it quite a bit here. So it's kind of sort of like that. But from what I understand, it's not necessarily about the commission you're going to get. It's more about kind of like what they used to do back in the good old days on TV, where it's a sponsorship fee. Is like paid up front? Is it given to us in the form of merchandise? Like, how does that work?
So there's three major compensation structures that most creators and influencers think of. And so the affiliate model is definitely one of them. That is a pay per performance model typically, right? You're not being compensated unless someone takes an action, right? Whether it's a trial sign up or a paid sign up, whatever it is. Then you have what's called hybrid compensation, where there may actually be some sort of flat base retainer portion. So maybe you're making $1,000, $2,000 to actually create the content, but then you're getting some sort of sweetener on the back end, which is like a commission or some sort of kicker. And then there's the flat compensation model where it's not dependent upon your performance at all. And this brand is actually just giving you a flat amount, $500, $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, for the privilege of you essentially talking about them. And I think that it's really important to realize that there's a couple things that are non-trivial. Number one is the work to actually create the content. So y'all may be familiar with affiliate models, obviously, but to be able, and in its purest form, it's like you write one sentence and you just hyperlink something and it's like, here's my affiliate link, right? And you disclose that, obviously. But you could take it to another extreme where what if you don't have a newsletter? What if you are a YouTuber, Instagrammer, whatever? Like, in order to plug the affiliate link, you have to generate some sort of content, whether it's a short, a TikTok video or a YouTube video or whatever. And the work required to do that is non-trivial. It's not like, it actually takes time. You have to edit the video, you have to edit the photo, you have to edit the reel, whatever it is. And so that amount of work, oftentimes, if you're only being compensated in an affiliate scheme, is trivializing the work required for you to actually generate that asset. And so part of why I am a much bigger fan of more of a hybrid or a flat base fee approach, especially if you have a sizable audience, that you need to capture that value somehow of creating that content, right? And I think that's the other really important thing to realize is that it's not just about the sales that you generate. For example, if the brand, would find value in taking that piece of content that you generated talking about them and repurposing it, right? Putting it on their website, putting it on their social channels, maybe running paid ads with it. That's a really, really valuable asset. And so that's another thing that you need to be charging for, like the privilege of using your name and likeness as a creator, as an influencer, as someone who has developed a following. They need to be compensating you for getting the privilege to do that. So there's a lot of different compensation structures that you consider, but those are the three main ones.
I really. This is one of the reasons why I've never really gotten out of the internet business arena, because what I love about online business is that you can always make money in several different ways simultaneously. So what I mean by that is just like the example you're sharing right now, it's 3 different compensation models and they can all be occurring at the same time, or maybe even be combined. You can be getting paid both a fee upfront and performance bonus or performance commission. So this is one of the beauties of doing business online in general, because you just end up building multiple streams of income, even though you're working on a single project. And I absolutely love it. Now let's shift gears a little bit, and I'm just curious. I don't remember if I already asked you that like before the show. If I did, please forgive me. But I'm just genuinely curious. What is it like to work with your wife as business partners? And be careful, because she might be listening to this episode.
I hope she listens to the episode, because she is my my best friend, has been my business partner for over a decade. And I love this question because I think that there's a lot more partner, spouse partnerships in business on the internet, especially, I think, these days than ever. And it's not something that people talk about a lot, I think, in terms of like the unique challenges and opportunities that come with, being married to your business partner, basically. Right. And so I'll start by saying that my wife and I first got together when we were both college students, right? So we were not doing this. And when we graduated, we had kind of entry level jobs. My wife was a preschool teacher. I went into medical devices. I'm an engineer by background. And so we were just kind of at the very beginning of our careers. And so we were kind of living paycheck to paycheck, honestly. Like we really had a budget, and we were like, analyzing it and all this stuff too. And so we were not making lots and lots of money is the point, right? And so we very much grew this from the ground, like from the ground floor, like this, our social media, business. It very much was like, again, like you said in the intro, it wasn't me at first. It was her. She was the one who started her first YouTube channel. I just came in because she needed help. I was kind of behind the scenes. Then I eventually, got in front of the camera. I started making cameos. Then we made channels together and all this stuff too. And so it grew very, very naturally and organically. But I'll tell you, man, it was definitely a struggle early on to like understand what our strengths were, because especially when I quit my job. So my wife quit her job, her preschool teaching job first in 2012. I kept my job, crucially. Like we still had the 9-to-5 income, the medical benefits, all this stuff. And it took several years for us to develop a plan for me to be able to quit. And now it's scary because all the eggs are in one basket. Now we're doing this together. So it's like the stakes are higher. But I remember, I have a funny story here is I remember when I initially quit my full-time job, I felt like I needed to justify the fact that I had quit. And now I'm going to be so much more involved in the creative stuff. So whereas before she would be used to me going to work, she would set up the camera all by herself, set up the lights, film it, edit it, do the whole thing. And then when I quit, I was home now, and I'm busting in here and being like, all right, let's put the camera here. Let's put the lights here. And she was like, what the hell are you doing? I don't want or need your help with this stuff. And so it's those types of, things that happen when you start working together. You kind of start butting heads on that stuff. And so it took a little while for us to kind of settle into our strengths. Her strength is definitely the creative stuff, and my strength is definitely the business stuff, because she hates, all the business behind the scenes stuff. And I love it. And so I think the learning lesson is like, there's been that's some of the challenges, but then the other side of it is that there's so many pros. I get to spend like so much time with my soulmate, with the woman I love. We get to go on these amazing trips because we don't have, when anytime we want, like if there's opportunities, we're able to pick up and go. Obviously we have kids now, and so we've taken them a lot, and so it's like, there's a lot of opportunities. If you don't like being around your partner, I think it would be hard, but that's why I think it's really important to pick the right partner, because I actually think it's amazing. I love spending time with her, and I love, there is obviously a blend, it's like a blur between our personal and our work life, of course, but I love it. I think it's awesome.
That's amazing, man. That is amazing.